They don't make them like they used to, boys. When it comes to fishing reels, I don't think the quality is nearly what it was 10 or 15 years ago. And this guy is proof. And this is what this video is about. It's a sad day. It's the end of an era. I have to retire the 200Es, dude. This is the Shimano Curado 200E, AKA the Ark 200E. In my opinion, the best reel ever made. And you can argue with me, but you're wrong. Like the components, the durability, I have flipped more giant fish out of super heavy cover with braid, with the drag cranked all the way down with that reel than any other reel. But the fact is they're not supporting it. There's no more parts coming out, so I can't fix them and keep them going. I gotta let them go, bro. If anybody knows anyone at Shimano, tell them to bring it back. Dude, bring back the 200E. The thing is, I think it was made too well. I think it actually kind of like hurt their sales because it lasted too damn long. So what we're gonna do in this video, if you're looking for a reel that's like super durable, that's freaking stout when it comes to this heavy cover, I got a couple for you, and I'm gonna be honest with you, no BS. I'm gonna tell you their shortcomings, I'm gonna tell you where they excel, and I'm gonna lay it out for you because sadly, somebody just tell them, bring back the 200E. Old Green Machine has to get retired. So as I sweat my balls off, I got two reel candidates for you. It's summer, dude. It's the perfect time to be punching and flipping. So the first one is the Ark Gravity 7. It was actually recommended to me by a fellow flipper and puncher, Randall Tharp, right? Dude is solid. Actually almost won on Lake Okeechobee doing the punch thing. So the Ark Gravity 7, it's not their highest end. It's right below that. Comes in around $239, $249.99 retail. The other one, and bro, I always struggle with this. It's the Abu Garcia Revo SXSS. Kind of sounds filthy, which makes me like it, but it's actually kind of a unique reel. It's specifically made for flipping and punching, and we're gonna get into that in just a second. Both of them are solid, dude. I put the test to both of them, and they have like carbon drag systems. They both have pretty stout drags. I think the Gravity 7 has a 14-pound drag, whereas the Abu has like a 22-pound drag, but I've literally dragged fish like 5-6 pounders out of the mats along with a bunch of salad, and they've held up. So that's usually the first thing on the cheaper or the less well-built reels that goes, is that drag system. So some of the bigger differences show up when it comes to spool size, and this is where that specificity with the actual flipping specific reel like the Abu versus the Gravity 7 come into play. And this is where you got to kind of weigh your goals, right? So the Abu actually has a really shallow spool. You only can put like 55 yards or something like that a line on it, whereas the Ark Gravity has a standard spool. For me, I kind of like the specifically made for flipping reel because I can just take that braid off, put new braid on, don't need to put new backing on. It also leads to a more consistent performance in drag. If you're using this reel for more things than just flipping, punching, things like that, if you want to say frog with it, and you're gonna make some long casts, or you're gonna throw some mono on there, or some like fluorocarbon and drag a worm with it, you're gonna want to go with that Ark because it offers that versatility, but the price point's up, right? It's like $239, $249. The other thing that you notice a difference with is power rating. So I actually got the 7-speed Ark Gravity. I kind of like that 7-speed. It's a nice balance of quickness and power, but the Abu, the Revo, only comes in that 8-speed. They figure you're gonna pick up line, flip, shoot it out, and I actually like that because you're more efficient, and efficiency is everything when it comes to flipping and pitching, but you do lose a little bit of power. And I noticed this, like I'd like stick a fish and like pin them to the mat. You lose a little bit of that power in dragging them in and dragging them through the grass with that higher speed reel, but it did make me sort of faster at what I was doing. The Ark is available in that 8-speed, but for the flipping and the punching, I kind of like that 7. So I kind of wish the Abu SXSS would come in that 7-speed, but I know a lot of guys, especially new school guys, like that 8-speed for that quickness. One of the biggest differences I noticed was sort of that solid stoutness, right? So they both have like alloy frames. I think there's some X2, some crazy alloy frame in the Abu, whereas there's an aluminum frame in the Ark. You can definitely feel feel that there's a little higher level of stoutness in that Ark Gravity 7. It just rocks solid, and that's what you look for, or what I used to look for with that Curado 200E. But I'm not saying the Abu flexes, it's just a little bit different feel. The other difference is sizing, right? The Abu is a little bit bigger reel. It weighs a little bit more, 7.5 ounces, where 7 ounces is what that Ark Gravity 7 comes in. So it might actually relate to the sizing in my palm. I'm not a super big guy. I'm like 5'8", 5'9", $160, right? So I don't have like giant hands. So guys who are looking for a more kind of like beefy reel, you want to go with the Abu. If you're looking for something that's tiny, that you really want a palm that doesn't offer much of a weight signature, you're probably going to want to look at that Ark. Now, the other thing that kind of keep in mind is some of these flipping rods, they weigh a little bit. They need that reel to have a little weight to balance the tip so that the rod is balanced. So in some situations, you might like that 7.5 ounces, or in some situations, you might not want it. You know, it depends on kind of how you want that tip of that flipping rod to settle. So one of the other big differences that I noticed is they both have like 90mm swept reel handles. And this is something you can modify if you want, but the Ark had smaller knobs. I did find that I was missing the reel handle from time to time. I'd get a bite, I'd go to reel down and hit them, and I would like slide off the reel tabs, or I'd miss that reel when I went to reel down. The Abu has some big old kind of like thumb tabs on it, and I think that's because it's specifically made for that flipping, skipping, kind of close quarters action, and that was something that I really, really liked. That handle felt large. It felt like I could get some leverage on it and really crank down on these fish. I think the basic conclusion though is I don't hate them. And one thing I was always worried about, because of the quality and how much I love those 200Es, is hating like the replacement reel. And both of them kind of fit, dude. Each one of them has your qualities. You know, I like the specificity of the Abu for just specifically flipping. I can just put new line on it. I don't got to worry about the backing. I love the big tabs on there. The solidness and just the stoutness of that Ark are great. The price point's a little higher, but it's also a versatile reel, right? I can use it for casting. I think it'd be a killer frog reel. It's super palmable, but it does have a little bit smaller tabs on that reel handle, but that's something that you can remedy. Both of them have suited me, dude. I've paunched and dragged fish out with both, so I'm kind of pleased about the fact that I don't hate them. Like, it sounds really stupid, but it's that simple. But you gotta kind of weigh what you're looking for. Do you need something that's a versatile reel that you can do multiple things with? Are you looking for a reel specifically for skipping and flipping, that heavy cover, a round cover, maybe docks, things along those lines, as well as grass? You know, that's what you got to kind of weigh out. I'll put links to both of them down in the description box for you guys to check out. And definitely, if you guys have any experience with either of these, let me know down in the comments box. Or if you know where I can get parts for my 200E, let me know. Or if you got another reel that you want me to try out, I'd love to kind of try out some reels. We'll do kind of like a boat hunt, a boat test for punching and flipping reels. So drop those down in the comments as well. Appreciate you guys supporting the videos, and I will see you later. I'm going to go try to dob on a few. There's one. Okay, look how clear that water is. Get in here. Bro, that's like a freaking 4-pounder.